going to call the meeting of the Wage and Personnel Committee at 6:04 on Monday, December 16th, 2024. The meeting is being recorded by Zoom. Anyone intending to make an audio or video recording of this meeting should notify the chair at this time. Items may be taken out of order at the discretion of the chair. The Wage and Personnel Board does need a third member to be appointed by the Finance Committee. If anyone is interested or knows anyone who's interested in joining the board, please contact the Finance Committee or the Board of Selectmen's office. Anything for the good of the group?
I have nothing, sir.
Okay. First appointment is Tina Betty, the Human Resources Manager. Keith is not going to be here to discuss the salary of the new Veterans Agent hire above step 3 of grade 5. So before we get started, I am going to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
When I got the email from you, it was stating confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
The person's name and offer letter and so forth is all in the selectmen's packet on the meeting for
It is
tomorrow.
now, yeah.
So do we have to stay confidential?
You don't have to use their name, but
Sorry.
it's out there. So
We'll try to mention this.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I just wanted to ask because we were
Nope.
trying to be respectful. I even asked if we had to go to executive session to discuss it. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not the case. So the floor is yours.
Sure. So we are looking to hire a veterans agent. So a little history, you all know how the veterans agent came to be in Wage and Personnel at grade 5. When we we had an administrative assistant in the veterans office for many, many years. And then an additional admin assistant in the veterans office for a handful of years. The 2 of them tag teamed the office the last couple of years. And they both decided to retire. Upon learning about that, this is probably a year ago now. Upon learning about that, we spoke with this candidate, or this candidate approached us about doing a district of the veterans agent position between Kingston and the community that they are the veterans agent in now. So a number of years ago, veterans agent position was regularly to become a full-time position. So if you had someone in the position that wasn't full-time, you were grandfathered in until they retired or left. And when that happened with us, we went with the model of keeping the admin assistant because they were excellent, and connecting with the town of Plymouth as more of a liaison type thing, not a partnership. The Vets of Kingston never really went to Plymouth to get anything done. It was more just signing off paperwork with that. So we looked at joining with this other community to have one agent between the 2 communities, which you are allowed to do, one full-time agent between the 2 communities, which you are allowed to do. We thought that was the direction we were going to go in, and then the other community never responded. So we went down the road of recruitment, and as you know, we hired someone, and then found ourselves needing to recruit again. And so that candidate, or that employee of the other community, reached out to us, does want to still work for us. Didn't move forward with applying officially the last time we had to really look for the full time. One, because of salary, but also just wanted to stay in that community for the time being and see what that direction of that position went there. So that's what we are here to discuss now. So this candidate is a vets agent, has been a vets agent for the past 3 years, full-time status, has worked with veterans 10+ years, obviously is a veteran themselves. In addition, you had a chance to look at their resume. Their volunteer work is all veterans based, as well as being appointed to various committees through different government entities. The additional piece that I found interesting was they have a SHINE certification. So typically how I've dealt with Shine is, not necessarily the chair sitting today, but, yeah. Is Shine representatives are usually who, the senior population deal with. And so, I was impressed with the fact that this candidate went out and got them on their own, understanding that that's the grouping. Not, and as of right now, you know, we have veterans that are throughout the age ranges. But this particular candidate, as a vets agent, does work closely with, whichever community they're in, their senior populations. So, hiring at step 9, the employee or the candidate originally, you know, they're looking for a certain dollar amount, based on what for, what the vets position alone brings in across the communities. So again, we have a grading system, so the position in functionalities of jobs get graded together. And then the average of all those positions, salaries with our communities, our comparable communities, that's what makes the grade, right? So you might have 500 positions in grade 5, a vets agent, and 4 others. All of those salaries combined to make an average. But if you look at just the vets agents alone, the salary is closer to what this employee is looking for, what this candidate is looking for. Even I feel that they warrant it. You know, we understand that we've come to you before with vets agent, and we're looking for a higher salary above step 3 as well. You know, this particular candidate walks in the door with the experience of being the actual vets agent, not being the admin for the vet's office. That's also the agent.
Run that by me again.
So we've had candidates in the past that have been admins in other communities in the vet's office.
Mhm.
Similar to what our former admin was, they pretty much did the job, but wasn't the agent themselves. So it wasn't the department head, wasn't the one and only person running the department. Whereas this person has been that. We've spoken to them about, no, there's no admin support in this position. You are the standalone, you know, only. And this candidate has that experience as a vets agent. Prior candidates haven't had that experience. They've had an admin or some type of other support. That's what we said.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you say her experience was?
So she has 3 years as a vets agent. She has 10 years working with vets, and then she has her volunteer experience that are American Legion, Mass Veteran Service Officers Association. She's on the executive board for that. Governor's Council for Women Veterans.
But I'm not seeing this yet.
You're not seeing what there.
Oh, these experiences and text.
Volunteer somewhere
Oh,
in there.
or
And then a few other
military
jobs.
service, yeah.
Well, maybe not seeing there. So this is the volunteer activity.
Yep.
And this is the vets agent. And
So-
then this is separate.
So this is
is
summary of these two.
So there was vets agent in one community
Mhm.
from 23 to present. There was vets agent in another community from 21 to 23. And then the vets agent, that's what the job is in those towns. And then under that is the communities veterans club. And
So
they
they're
were the general-
non-municipal jobs.
Well, these top ones are.
These
Yeah.
are municipal, but the ones on the
Right.
after that,
Yeah.
non-municipal, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
I should run on the clock.
That's all right. I think this, you can use that one.
I'm sorry,
That's
this
all
guy-
right. Did I write that one? I wrote that.
No,
right?
no,
you wrote that? Okay.
that's my scribble.
No, I
Yes,
scribbled too.
that's
That's
it,
why that
yeah.
looked like it was mine, but you can have that one.
Have you seen my scribbles? I know what I'm
No one
saying.
reads my scribbles.
All right. So basically, she's walking in, it looks like from January 2021 to current
As an agent, yep.
as an agent.
Yep.
Does she have a support? Does she have an admin assistant there?
No.
No admin
No.
either.
In either of the communities she came from. Which is why when we spoke with them about, there's no admin here either. They were on board with that, because I think they've done,
But yeah, we'll see.
Jim?
A couple of questions.
Sure.
Obviously, step 9 causes me to be a little concerned.
Sure.
What are you gonna do with step 10? Like, in a year, when she goes to step 10, she done?
That's what has to happen, right?
Okay, so, again, there are certain positions I've supported where, I think the finance director, I agree, and so forth. I basically see this person with 4 years experience, which is the minimum you wanted for this position.
Yep.
Why we're talking about a step 9, I'm just not seeing it. So, we don't even have to talk about salaries in those other jobs because they're readily available. And I looked at them, and this is a big jump based on what was in the first town and then in the current town. How am I doing with the town I'm saying? Okay, so I have a real issue with it. That and the fact that I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's only like 62 or something like that in the budget for it. Where's the money coming from?
I have to look at that. I thought it was higher. I thought it was 72.
I thought it was like 62. It might have been 64, but I thought it was 62. But so I'm
For this year.
correct.
Yeah.
The rest of this year. And I don't know what the budget is for next year.
Right.
Okay. Obviously they're working on that. I'm trying to be careful with my nouns here.
Yep.
The Veterans Club, I won't say the name of it, is a non-paid position. I applaud that. The amount of veterans that are in the previous town is very similar to ours. And almost to the number. And I'm just curious why, again, salary wise, we're talking about a step 9. I understand the discussions in the past have been part of them. I've supported them. I just have a hard time understanding why, this candidate is the veterans agent of veterans agents in my head. So to me, honestly, based on what I saw, on experience and so forth, it's a step 1. So that's just my thought process, based on what I read and what I saw. And even that, based on some of the other facts I gathered, is a fairly substantial increase. So more so, and again, I'm only coming at it from the standpoint of fairness, because that's our charge, fairness to all the other employees. I can make an argument to somebody about a finance director because of the qualifications involved and so forth. I'm just having a hard time with the veterans agent.
Sure.
Okay. So if there's something else that convinces me, I hope, and I hope you know that.
Yeah, no, I know. So the thing about the veterans agent is, because they have to be a vet, that lowers our applicant pool, right? And then even when we spoke before about, I think it was 6 months ago, there was a change in terms of what they have to be certified as.
Sure.
And so without those certifications, we can't put in for any of the reimbursements that we would get from the government. So that's an additional piece that these veterans agents are now going through, right? So our applicant pool, even from before, are people that are veterans and have to go through these various certifications in order to do the work that they need to do. So by nature of those things, my feeling and my understanding, just of this candidate, but other candidates that we spoke with, even in the last round, is that is what's warranting a higher salary. The skill set has to be there. again, the veteran piece of it has to be there. We had a couple of candidates the last go around that we were very interested in, but what we were looking at were people that were retired from a municipality, and so they have limited hours, so it didn't fit it has to be a full-time position, right? So, so there was that. There's a lot of factors in terms of what this applicant will mean for us, right? Because basically we're saying, come work as an exempt position, at least 35 hours a week. Make sure you are a military person, and here's the certifications you have to have. I don't know, given that the other, the other positions in 35, we don't fire that from any of them. All of these, there's CBLs that have to happen, which, for the union to get paid additional stipends for.
Well, don't forget, when that was done, this was not a requirement. Accreditation.
Yeah.
Would not a requirement.
Right,
So that's a new.
Yeah, and I think the last time we talked about, are we looking to do some type of reclass? I don't think that's happening now. But maybe we look at that in the 27. But I think we have to really get someone in the position for us to kind of understand, like, this is what all that means and why it's warranted.
And to be totally honest, there's some good press out there on this candidate, including from the previous agent who retired in the town.
Of that town.
Correct. So I was kind of looking, I kind of looked at everything to see what I saw. And, but to be honest with you, I understand the points. And I understand the fact that they have to be certified. I'm a little curious, but it's not the job here, why we couldn't make something work in Duxbury where that person was.
There was an interest from the leadership.
Okay, but was from the person.
Okay.
But anyways, okay, well, do you have any other questions, Laura?
Yeah, I do have one question, okay, yeah, hypothetically, she's hired.
Yeah.
Okay, and hypothetically, let's say she's at 71 feet, that's what this recommendation.
Yeah.
What happens come July 1? Does she go up to step 10?
No, she won't be here for 6 months. So she's at that rate until, or she's not that rate, she's at that step, so if you guys do a COLA, she'll get whatever COLA is for step 9.
Right, so she's not gonna get anything July 1st, not even COLA?
No, she will get a COLA, because if you guys do a COLA
If
at
we
all,
do a COLA, understood.
step 9 in general will change, because the COLA will get applied to it, so, she'll get whatever that.
She'll get 2%.
Whatever, right, but a step won't happen until July 26th.
Sorry.
I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure
no,
that
that's a
she
good
wasn't gonna go bump in,
No,
come
and
in.
yeah,
and
later, go do that,
4 months
yeah,
later,
that's a
because,
good point,
you
yeah,
know,
that's a good point, I should have mentioned that.
no, that's okay, now we know, that's where we are.
Sorry, Jim, when everyone talks at once, you can't hear anything on
Okay,
this end, just to, that's okay, I don't know what you guys were saying.
no, thank you.
All right, so.
Yeah, it's funny, so if I'm looking at just applicant pool, right, like just the fact that we don't get this applicant, we go back to market or whatever. This time around, the applicant pool. Even just to wipe out people who are like, no, you need to be a vet, okay, let's get rid of that, there's a lot of parameters on who can do this job, and what environment they can do this job. I don't know, it's a department head level, like I said, we're saying, it is.
Is it a department head level?
It is a department head level, they're department one, they go in that department.
So they considered the department head.
Yep. If they report to the TA,
Was there movement between your first note and what we're talking about tonight in terms, the note that you sent out?
Yeah.
Was grade 10, step
there
10.
was,
So tell me what happened.
yeah, so Keith and I talked about it, and this candidate wants a certain dollar amount, right? And they did before, and, honestly, even for the candidates from last time around, it's similar to what they were all asking for too.
But that's not certainly what we did.
No, no. But in any event, so, you know, in speaking with it, you know, I discussed it and I said, you know, there are other factors that could bring that person up to where they want to be. That doesn't mean you have to put them into the step down. We looked at they're not gonna get a step, right? And then once they get the step in 26, they're done, right? You know, so we decided to go with the step 9, so the step 9. So we're not trying to just like throw money at any candidate to walk in the door, you know what I mean? Like we are looking at all the factors of it, including who's in those two things now and those grades now. Like I said, it's you know, again, it's the come be a vet, you know, be a vet, work at least 35 hours a week, be a department head, no support. You won't get a step for another year, and you have to have these accreditations, you know, and it's, I mean, I will tell you this though, in the interviewing of this round and the round before, like Kingston is very supportive of their vets, and it sounds like some other communities are not, and people are very appreciative of that, and you know, people want to come to work here, but they also have to. So, you know,
What's the internet code here for this building? Do you know?
like the password.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know.
We had a rush to get here, so I never had time to connect. But I
Yeah,
just wanted
I
to
don't
look
know
for
that
an
yet.
email. And
Oh, okay.
yeah,
What-
Kim, you don't know what it is, do you?
You know what? I don't recall. It's probably saved in my computer.
You know what Wi-Fi you're on? I have a little thing on my laptop, but so, what Wi-Fi are you on?
Not. That's what I'm trying to get on.
Is
Oh,
there something I can look up here for you, Jim?
Just give me a second. So, Lorraine, if you have some more questions, please.
Is there not a no password one?
I'm trying to find it here. This is a Microsoft machine that I put in play at the last minute because my Mac. And
Oh, okay,
I'm
so
struggling.
he's going back to this.
So I'm on, my phone is on TOK Public,
Yeah, that's
but
what
I don't know if
looking
there's a thing for
Huh. Okay, because basically I'm looking at the stat for the last veterans agent. And the one here is like $10,000, almost 10,000, it's just short of $10,000. How do you feel that the 10,000 is more?
So the candidate we had before was acting as the vets agent, and because they were vets, work in their past job.
Yeah.
We hired, the vets agent we hired in their past job was acting as the agent. Could do so because they were a vet, but was not the agent.
Okay,
Yeah.
they were an acting agent.
No, they were an admin.
They were
But
admin.
towards the
All right,
end,
I thought
we
you
gave
said-
interim or something, yeah.
Okay,
I did say acting, but not.
yeah, because to me, when you're acting somebody, you have
Yeah.
pretty much all of the responsibilities for that. So
No, that community, that community had a vets agent. But their admin was the agent
and we
and
don't
not the agent.
We-
Right.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, okay, what's the value between the last one and this one? That's what I'm trying to figure out, what it makes them that much different.
I mean, the way Keith and I see it is this community has been the true agent for towns that are similar to us. Again, you know, only Department of one type of agent, you know.
In a similar size.
In some way, yeah.
Okay, and we were willing to pay that person, let's say for argument's sake, 60.
Mm.
Now it's
No. I'm saying the person, our candidate today,
Mhm.
has been the agent in similar towns. With no, you know, Department of one, all of that, whereas the agent we had before. It was a Department of two, and I think with similar size, it wasn't portrayed that way, but I think it was.
So basically, the job description and the posting, they wanted 4 years of experience, which we don't have. And we have a lot of volunteers. which is
4
really
years
nice.
as like agent experience or 4 years of veterans experience?
Veterans agent
It's,
experience.
I think it says job and or education.
It's either 4 or experience, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
You know, so you can.
It's a combination.
It's a combination, right, but I'm looking at the 4 and it's like, all right, we're already down a stitch. But there is other experiences and previous veteran information. Seems to have been doing a lot of work for the veterans for quite a while. She's a commander in one of the posts from 2010 to 2012. Executive board member, so her credentials are pretty decent. But I'm still kind of puzzled about the $10,000 difference when their credentials are really all that much. You know, this last person didn't have another admin. Didn't have an admin.
In their previous job?
No, the current, the previous veterans agent was left in
Whatever, yeah, like, here did not have an admin. In her, what they came to us from, there was an admin and an agent. They were the admin.
So the new person didn't have that. So the person coming in now, or the person who's been suggested, is very familiar with not having an admin.
Right.
So there's really no explanation for the 10 because of an admin, because they didn't have one and they don't have one. So that's the same. It's a wash.
Well, here's how I looked at that.
Okay.
So because our vet's office is department head, agent, standalone, no support. There is more put on that person. There just is. They have to run the budget. They're doing the payroll. They're doing all of it. And it's not just like, oh, the payroll fund, because we pay out vets. Remember that's right. Okay. So I think when you, and not just for this department, but when you come from a department where you have a support or you are the support, you're not responsible for the entire job of the department, right? So this person, like myself, or any of the standalone departments, is doing everything from, let me run the budget, let me, like in my case, let me put the offer letters together, let me do all the admin type of stuff, in addition to the strategic stuff, the stuff this particular position has to be certified for, you know, the talking to having that world of being able to talk to the vet, you know. I think when you have the department of more than one, you kind of, not even tag team, but there's like, here's a position that does this, here's the other position that does that, right? So our former vet's agent was, I do this, and I know how to do that. And he said, come do this and do it all. I think this position is used to doing it all. Or this person is used to doing it all. And so they're walking into a position where we have to have the.
I don't think we're asking her to do anything more than we asked the other veterans.
That's great, but my point being.
So why does it cost? That's my question. And honestly, the reason there's a lot of talk in town about overrides and all this other stuff. So, you know, if I'm going to sit there, two things. If I'm going to sit there and recommend a salary based on, you know, the recommendation that I'm getting, I want to defend it, number one. And number two, I still go back to bringing somebody in as a step 9. And if the assistant to the fire chief, who's also a step 5, wants to know how come this person's a step 9 and I'm a step 5 or a step 6, why? That's not fair.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm just using that as an
I
example.
agree.
I was looking at the schedule to see who the 5s were.
Yep.
And you know, and you can probably say to each one, oh, that one's under contract, that one's this. I get it. But if they weren't, tell me that conversation, because we are supposed to be fair. And that's the problem I'm having, in addition to the other things that I've outlined. And the one thing that Ben is very consistent.
Mhm.
So, I understand the fact that it's not an easy job to fill, okay?
So it's, right.
Because of the requirements.
Yeah.
But, I do think though that, based on what I saw of average salaries for the position in the state of Massachusetts,
Mhm.
even the previous one was at the high side.
Sure.
If not, was definitely above the average. And this one is way above the average. So, you know, and I'm talking about towns that are bigger. You know, the town, the vet agent in Hanover, okay, makes $10,000 less than what we're proposing here.
Mhm.
And that's a much bigger population. So square that circle is, you know, and I understand this is the candidate in front of you. This is how we had to get there. This is what they have to qualify for. But at the same time, you know.
So I'm wondering if part of it is, and again, not for this conversation, but, you know, as I said, this position is a department head, right?
None of these other
None
ones
of these
are.
other
I knew
ones
you were
are,
gonna say that,
right?
yeah,
You know,
no, I
I
looked
mean,
at that, but,
Yeah, and I mean, if that's where it is today, right?
but, you know, two are in public safety and are important in public safety,
The assistants to the chiefs,
yeah.
okay.
So, you know, again, the compensation study tried to weigh
Mhm.
positions based on criteria, including some, as you would say, hard,
Mhm.
not quantitative,
Mhm.
okay?
Okay.
So I can understand that, and truth be told, Tina, there's no, right answer,
Okay.
okay? And, you know, looking at what I looked at, I'd love to have this candidate,
Mhm.
but not that. Because of the other issues I have with fairness,
Mhm.
with what we pay a veterans agent,
Mhm.
new employee with not a lot of experience, some. And, so I'm just not there.
So, and I can appreciate that, I do weigh part of it on the, is the department head, and so unlike the public safety assistants, the chiefs, they're not making the decisions, right?
I understand.
Even by base of that, there are incumbents in these positions who are well over step 10, and not always because of longevity, just that's the way it panned out, they were making a lot to begin with.
Well, the way that
That's right.
the way the study's done.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
even prior to that, they were.
No, I understand that, but
Whatever
the point
grade
of
they
the-
were in for.
Right, but the
Yeah.
point is,
Yeah.
there is that this is what we gotta deal with.
I understand.
You know, and 2-3 years ago, which is what we're talking about, that's ancient history.
No, I know.
Okay, it's the going forward, and with all the other facts that I'm hearing in terms of, you know, I knew this day was coming.
Sure.
And I told you it was coming.
Mhm.
Okay, because I just said, look, guys, you know, my feeling is based on what I saw, and it's a great candidate, good press that I read, recommendation from the previous veterans agent in the town that she was in, who retired,
Mhm.
but, just don't see that price. And I just don't, and I think it's from a standpoint of fairness and from the standpoint of what's required and what you're getting for that requirement. If this person had 10 years experience, something like that, and you would come in to me and say, well, look, you know, they're at the top of the scale. This person is basically 4 years of experience.
Sure.
Okay, in the veterans agent. I like the fact that this person was a shine
Yeah. me too.
counselor.
Yeah.
We have one,
Mhm.
here. at
Well,
the-
they come to,
They have a couple, so,
they come here from China, yeah.
yeah, but it's good to,
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely good, and it would be a service, to our veterans, you know, but, I just can't see the salary.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't,
I would say, again, 'cause, you know, whether it's rights for wage and personnel, or ATU, when I look at the incumbents in a particular grade, I have to justify myself as well to say, "Oh, this is something I can support." You know, again, given the incumbents in the other positions that are all hourly, you know, not by step, but they are maybe over that. Over what we're looking at this person, there's a handful of them that maybe don't make as much overtime as warrants. And so they might be in a similar or slightly lower grade, at lower step. But are maybe similar. And the positions that do get a lot of overtime in here, one reason or another, are going to be well over what this position is. But again, that's incumbent information, which is when I think of fairness, that's what I think of, the people in the chairs.
So some of the people that are making the same amount of money or thereabouts, how many years have they been in the job? I know you don't have an answer, because it's very specific, but is the average employment life 4 years? Where these people that are making the same money or more, or do they have more experience than 4 years? Are they in this position and they're 10 years doing this job and they're making about the same money? So then the argument could be, well, this person is a veterans agent, is a department head. I mean, to me, that just kind of blew my mind to begin with, but that's on you.
That they're considered that, or that they are that in that grade?
No, that they are considered the department head and they want to treat them as department heads.
And why is that surprising? I'm not challenged.
Just because, because I was not aware that they were department head. I thought they were middle management, not a department head.
Right, so.
When I see a department head, I'm talking about like the treasurer, the town clerk. Those are department heads. Department of Public, I'm sorry. Trees and. They have a department head. Okay, yeah, they may or may not have a whole lot of people. But when I see a department head, I'm talking,
They're running the department.
they're running everything.
And that's what this.
Every single state.
For the vets.
So that's what they're saying, is that's why there's a department head, but I just assumed it came in, under. And that was an assumption, yeah, but.
It reports, like I do, like always. Most of
He
the departments.
is considered, or this person, this position is considered a department head like the other departments.
They run the budget, they, you know, basically.
Yeah, you can see that. on
I mean, for the most part, like, I compare myself to, myself, you know, like, comparing each other, that's what I know.
Yeah.
But like, the way I look at department heads is this, right? As a department head, you've gotten to that level because you're the subject matter expert for that discipline, right? And there are things that you do make the decisions on. And there are things on the HR side of the house that I don't do. Like, hey, can we do this? Should we do this? You know what I mean? There are other things that I'm like, this is my recommendation because that's the decision that's at the high level, right?
Yep.
And by nature of the vets agent world, or the vets services world here, again, you know, Department of One, but it's not at a caliber of I need to know all the regs, because no one else knows them. I need to know all the, I have to get certified, because no one else can be certified. I have to be able to talk to those vets, because no one else is talking to those vets. Like, that's how I see it, as why it's a department head level. So, doing all the other things, it's just around the staff.
It's good to understand even more. I like
Did the offer letter come up?
It did, but they're contingent offer letters, and one of them is right here.
Yeah.
Right,
Wage and personnel
So,
and
well,
select.
kind of board of selectmen contingent on the wage and personnel,
Yep.
review of salary.
Okay. No negotiation? So in my world, not your world, towards step 1 instead of step 9.
But we won't be able to get.
Step 1.
I do have a question.
the negotiation was, they wanted step 10.
What, is it possible, I don't know this particular question, but, do you have the ability to tell us what her recommended, or her requested, salary was, or is that? She came in and wanted a step 10.
Mhm. And others did as well.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and it's how it's also printed that way in the job report. It lists the salary range.
Yeah.
So they say the highest
Over
one,
the top. yeah.
right, and I understand that.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
human nature, I'm not.
Totally,
Um,
totally, nobody wants to get
So
paid
it's
nothing.
funny, right, because, sorry, I just have to tell my sister the whole dinner for me. So, I don't know, I'm sure I'll bring up a lunch tomorrow. So where is it going with this, right, so, so municipalities, mainly because of, union contracts, but we just fill it into all the positions. We always list the range.
Sure.
Right, because like, the union contract says you have to do it, we put it on all of them, right? But now Massachusetts has a law that you have to put the range in for postings.
In the
And so
postings.
on the municipality side of the house, when the HR people hear that, we're like, and.
It's all public
So-
record anyway.
Well, it's public record, but not the private, but it is public record, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so, right, I mean, obviously, the range is there, you're gonna ask for top of the range. Well, no, not obviously, I have had a number of people here and elsewhere in my personal life, or my professional life. Where where we all want to make more money, but you're telling me, you're telling me a position pays $300,000, but you don't have the experience, don't ask for that, because you're not even gonna get an
You
interview.
know, off to the side,
Right.
off to the side. Okay, so
If there's no more questions,
I have one, but I don't think I can, I'm not gonna ask it.
okay. Then, I'll take a motion.
I'm not entirely comfortable with it.
So what I would do is say that you're making a motion to hire the vets agent at above step 3 of grade 5. That's what the request is. So that would be the motion.
So it will be over.
It's above step 3, grade 5. That's
So,
right.
right over step
That's
3
the-
has to come here.
So what you're saying
Right.
is you're making a motion to approve the hiring of the vets agent at a higher above step 3 of grade 5, as outlined by the presentation from.
Or not.
But I'm not comfortable with the 71.
I understand that, but
So
what I'm saying is if you phrase the motion in a positive and you vote no, whatever,
Okay, yeah,
it's the motion, but at least they have an answer and a recommendation from us.
Yeah.
I would not make a recommendation for a motion to change whatever they're doing, because
No.
that's not what they're coming for
no,
us with.
no, they're just asking us for a recommendation and bottom line is I can't recommend that.
Okay, so,
I can't.
would you accept my proposed
Yes.
motion?
Okay, so I move to recommend to the board the hiring of
The vets agent,
the veterans agent hired above step 3 in grade 5.
I'll second. You good? Okay. Lorraine?
All in favor? Yes. I'm sorry.
A yes or a no vote to the recommendation.
Yes,
So you're recommending that they hire above step 3.
step 3, grade 5. Yep.
You're saying to do it.
It's not about step 3. The recommendation is, the town administrator has come to wage and personnel to say, we want to make a hire above step 3 for grade 5.
Right. That's
Do
the
you agree with
bylaw.
that? Right,
That's the
that's the
bylaw.
bylaw.
Right.
The question is, are you good with that or not? Not about step 9, not about whatever.
It's got nothing to
step
do with
3.
9. It's like, I'm very comfortable letting them,
Go higher than step 3.
if you want to do that, that's all, but for me, I can't do it. So I'm very comfortable with the step 3 grade, grade 3 step,
No.
step 3, grade 5.
No, the motion is, you're allow, if it's approved.
Yeah.
Then they can hire above step
Yes.
3, grade 5.
Yes,
No limit, no ifs, ands, or
right,
buts.
that's up to them.
And if you vote yes for it, that's our recommendation.
That's,
If you vote no for it, then it defeats the recommendation.
yeah, no, I support the recommendation to
Okay,
recommend this person at a step 3, grade 5.
no, higher than step 3, grade
Oh,
5.
higher, I am sorry.
motion is-
That's,
Yeah,
that's the
higher.
word, that's
Right.
the
So the
word.
motion
I
is.
apologize, Kim.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
motion is to hire above step 3, grade 5.
That's what they're asking.
That's what we're doing. That's
And
what
you're
I-
saying, yes, it's
Yes.
okay to hire above step 3, grade 5. That's fine.
Yes, that's what I
Okay,
saw.
so her vote's an affirmative yes.
Yep.
And my vote is a no.
Okay.
So a tie vote means it's a no vote. Okay? All right. Update.
Motion.
Hold on, I gotta take it out.
Take it
Yeah,
out,
I
that's
know.
fine. But I think that's the right way to phrase it, Tina, so that you guys, have the direction that you want.
All right, good word. I apologize for that confusion.
No, it's fine.
My whole life
I just
is
wanted to
confusion.
make sure you understood what.
I knew in my head what I
Yeah,
wanted to say,
no
but it was
problem.
not
And
that way.
I understand what you were trying to do. I don't have a problem.
Oh, you're so good to me. All right. All right, let's do that.
So I don't have too much. So working on the bylaw requests that came through to Keith, our deadline was last month, November 22nd, I think. And so he and I are going through what to actually move forward. Likely, there's gonna be 2 new positions put forward. We have to have them on the books, a cleanup of bylaw for another position. And potentially 2 to 4 reclassifications. And then, with the rec put through.
So 2 to 4 positions for reclass
Mhm.
and 2 new positions.
Mhm.
Are they in the bylaw? The
The 2
positions?
new positions, no.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Are they
One's a treasurer collector.
a hybrid?
Get that
It's a
done,
hybrid of the position. Okay. So
Yeah.
will we be getting rid of positions in the bylaw?
I don't think we have treasurer collector in there now,
No.
treasurer or collector, so we'd have to add that the one together.
Mhm.
And then, possibly yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
New positions, clean up the bylaw, specifically, what is the clean up of the bylaw?
There's a position that was in the study where the grid wasn't adopted, and now that department is asking for that.
Right, I sent you the email, Lorraine. I do have her, what is this, over here.
I love it. Positions, too.
Yeah, it might be a control.
I remember that.
Possible reclass.
I can review the document still. But-
Okay.
but-
Yep. Yep, okay, this is what I thought.
Tentative.
Yeah, they're all,
Tina still needs to review it.
yeah, it's all right.
Well,
It's tentative. Yeah, understood. All right.
But
so-
based on the email discussion is what was presented to the department head, and they followed through. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And then still looking for our less than part-time public health nurse. And the Director of Elder Affairs Search Committee met last week. So we've come up with people we want to contact for interviews. Interviews likely won't happen until late January, just getting people's schedules. So I'll reach out to those candidates. Get it on the books.
Okay. All right, you gotcha.
Any questions, Lori?
No, none,
Okay.
none whatsoever, other than, please get those to us.
The next item is review draft of the wage and personnel bylaw, prepared by Executive Secretary incorporating changes voted at the fall town meeting for the remainder of FY '25. And that refers to an email from Jennifer. Those are the changes to Schedule A.
Right, and I changed the date on the cover page
Yes.
to the date of the special town meeting.
So I
Right,
would,
schedule it.
right, I would just basically take a motion to approve the wage and personnel bylaw prepared by the executive secretary, incorporating the changes for the fall town meeting for the remainder of 2025.
So,
Okay. Maureen,
Yes,
Jim, yes. Okay.
and you second.
Draft board annual report for 2024. That's an email that went out December the 15th. If I'm not mistaken. Is that right? No, that is, those
I
are,
sent you the report
You
from
did.
last,
you did.
Yeah.
Yep.
get the,
I think the original author was Lorraine,
way back,
Mhm.
way back.
way back,
Um,
but it still works.
Yeah,
Thank God. Can I recess for a minute?
yeah, why don't we just take a quick look at it so we're all on the same page.
Okay.
All right, let me, I'm just going to mute us.
We'll be back in a minute or two. Got it.
Very much.
Okay, we are back. Wage and personnel just before 7 p.m. Looking at the draft board annual report of 2024 that was sent by Jennifer. I don't see anything that I would change in it other than the board held X meetings over the course of 2024. Other than that, the rest of it can go. Do you have anything that you want to add to it?
Nothing, it was fine.
Okay.
It was
then,
fine, thank you.
I would then approve a motion, make a motion to approve the report of the Wage and Personnel Board for 2024 as presented by the Executive Secretary.
So,
Okay, Lorraine,
Yes.
Jim, yes. Okay. Review bylaw amendment requests received.
Just Susan Woodworth.
Okay,
That's the only one we received today.
okay.
I just wanted to get them into the minutes. See when we start.
So I looked at her Schedule C3
Mm-hmm,
and applied 2%.
mm-hmm.
And,
But not to the council.
well, counselor, the counselor, that's where the question is. She's recommending,
She's saying no to the council.
right, position a minimum wage requirement.
That's what she wants,
So she wants to keep that position
at the minimum.
at the
wage.
minimum wage
Yes.
and not get a COLA.
Right,
all.
that's what she's done. She's done that in the past.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I haven't lost my mind.
No, you haven't lost your mind.
Okay.
That's-
Wonderful. All right, so other than that, yeah, it's very straightforward this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only request we've received, but the deadline isn't until.
That's
next
our
Monday.
requested
Yeah.
date, so I'm going to push off any movement of that to the next meeting.
Oh, no, I didn't expect you to act on it.
Yeah,
Just
no,
wanted
it's
to
just,
get
it's
it
just an
in.
Just take a
update.
minute.
Yeah, just an update.
Just know
Okay.
that.
Next item, is there any mail?
No other mail other than,
What's been
right,
sent out to everybody? Okay. And then, review and approve the minutes for November the 12th. I read them. I don't see anything in them that, I wanted to make any issue with. I don't know about Lorraine, if you had any questions.
The only question I had was at that time, we were scheduled for the annual town meeting on May 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
2025. Now subsequently it's changed to April 26th.
Mhm.
So,
I think in fairness that everybody was using the assumption of the May the 3rd, and we count back 130 days, that we leave our date where it is.
yeah,
If it's off a little bit, at least, I don't want to change what we
well, the
told.
deadline would be today.
yeah.
With the April 26th,
Right,
Yes.
Right,
it's
but I'm
supposed to
saying
be-
leave the deadline
right,
based on the memo you sent,
right.
where it is.
So I'm not suggesting that we change the deadline. What I'm suggesting is we have minutes that indicate we're having a meeting in May and it's.
Well, that's what Tina told me.
Yes,
Right.
then, is there anything that we can, is there any?
I mean, that's what Tina said at the meeting.
Oh, I
Yeah.
agree, I agree, 100%.
I
So
think in
that's
the
why-
minutes of this meeting, it
We'll
will
make a
show the
change.
revised date, and I
Oh,
think,
yeah, I can. I can
Yeah.
do
But
that.
can we do that? I'd
Yeah.
rather have it for the record.
Yeah.
So-
and that we,
Yeah, I'll put it under, new business.
Mhm.
The
Okay,
date
yeah,
of annual town meeting.
and
It's
that
now.
we also discussed, the deadline for submission
Mhm.
prior to the meeting, and that we would leave it where it was based on the May 3rd date.
so that will remain the same and we're just gonna change the date for the record.
Correct.
Okay, excellent, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So I would move to approve the minutes of November 12th, 2024 as written.
So, moved.
Okay, Lorraine?
yes,
Jim, yes. Okay. Next agenda date for us would be January 20th. I do need to look at that,
That's a holiday.
is
Right.
it? Nah,
And I'm
that's
away.
what I was afraid of.
and I'm away.
Oh, and you're away.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not back until the 21st, and it's late, so,
forget about it, yeah.
yeah, we can either do the 13th, or we could do the 27th, if we want to stay in.
I think it's.
Bearing
better
in
to
mind,
say-
though, the Board of Selectmen, we asked them to submit their documentation on the restructure. Not in February, but remember we asked that.
For
they
the end
see
of
it in
January.
So if we pushed into January 13th, that might cut, at least this will give them 2 weeks if we
Go to the
go to
27th.
the 27th. Gives them
Okay.
2 weeks, we're not shortening it for them, and they've got
Okay.
enough. The Park Streets Re's
Ah, yes.
department,
Yep,
yeah,
yep,
they
okay.
asked
Yep.
for February, and we said, yeah, January, because
Yeah.
we have, especially considering what's coming our way with the reclasses and positions. So if we went to the 13th, you know,
27.
so yeah, I think that would.
So
be better.
our proposed date is January 27th at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
I'll check, I'll make sure we can get it. in.
Yep, subject to obviously getting the room and so forth.
Because I don't want to cut them any more than we have to.
Yeah, understood. I agree with you 100%. 100%.
So we're done with that, that's the request.
Okay, anything else for the good of the group, not reasonably anticipated to be discussed 48 hours in advance of the meeting?
That's where I'm going to put the town meetings.
That's fine.
Okay. All right,
Anything else for the good of the group?
just to confirm that, COLA is 2%.
Again, I think
Possible.
we should put that on the agenda for the January 20th meeting
Okay.
for discussion, because I'm not sure what the administration's planning.
Right,
So,
It was said that based on
Right.
2 years ago on
right,
contract,
I mean, by contract,
Right.
that's what has to
So
happen.
contract
but-
is
but-
2%.
but again, the, nothing says we're gonna make that decision today. I'd like to hear, you know, if there's any discussion to the contrary, or if there's, you know, both ways, more or less.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Tina had some other items that she asked about. Remember we put all those off? They were just kind of like housekeeping things. Other bylaw amendment requests.
Such as,
Oh, for example, that form that employees have to sign, the acknowledgement of receipt of bill. So
Change the ad
Tina
positions
thought
and stuff, yeah.
that adding the position would be helpful.
And I think, yeah, that's.
And there were some other things. I think
We discussed briefly that, very briefly.
Why
Yeah.
did an email?
It got tabled. It got
That's-
tabled. So do you want the tabled items, or do you want me to let you know what the tabled?
yeah, why
items were?
don't we bring up the tabled items in a
Yeah.
short list, and then we'll decide, you know, what we can reasonably accomplish at that meeting.
Yeah.
But leaving us enough time that if the, DPW / highway department / streets and parks discussion comes up as well.
Right, but
Okay.
by that time, you should have all the other bylaws.
Oh, I hope
Correct.
You'll have-
Correct, I hope so.
you'll
I
have a
hope so.
lot to do.
And you know that better, and you've gotten some already.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on this week. My
Yeah.
plan was to work on it last week, but, you know, I was just getting in the way. So I won't be Christmas shopping tomorrow afternoon, I'll be here.
There's an expression about, oh, I can't think of it. It's something like, you know, you try to do the best you can, but it doesn't work out. I can't think
Yeah,
of
we
it.
do this family, but, you know.
But, you know, that's it. You do the best you can, you know.
Okay, anything else, Lorraine?
No, that's
Okay, I
not
would
for
take a
today.
motion then to end the meeting at 7:07 on December the 16th.
So moved.
Okay, Lorraine,
Yes,
Jim, yes. Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Kim.